Hello, all our Luxies. Welcome back to the Luxury Live Show. Of course, beside me is my beautiful co-host, Kat L. You guys know her. If you don't, and if you're brand new to this show, by the way, this is a weekly live stream show that both Kat and I host every single week, but we alternate between our channels. So this week is on my channel, and next week will be on hers, vice versa. And today we have a continuation of same topic as last week, which is about FOMO. But today we're actually going to share with you some of the FOMO purchases that we've made in the past. And I think a lot of them were pretty good. I think we did pretty well, even when, I mean, honestly speaking, I think most of my purchases are FOMO purchases, but some of them didn't work out as well. And we're going to share the reasons why. And I think it's going to be a fun chat. So I'm going to be sharing my screen. We did prepare some slides for you guys this week. But before that, I also wanted to do a quick announcement, I guess, is that Kat and I, we thought that, you know what, I think it's time. It's, we've done this show for a whole year now. I think it's time that we give this live stream a boost, like this show a boost. And we're going to create, we haven't ironed out all the details yet, but we're going to create membership levels, different ones, where you get to have your own stickers, emojis, whatnot. We're trying to iron out the details later, but we think we're going to do it. We're just going to implement it. We're going to let you guys know when it's ready, and hopefully you guys will join us, be special members. And of course, as a special member, you get probably priority questions answered and this and that. Like I said, no, we don't have the details ironed out yet, but we're thinking that it's time to do it.
Yeah.
Right, Kat?
Definitely. And one of the things that we are planning to do is to have member-only live streams.
Right.
Because now that we've been on the public side of the live stream for the past year, more than a year, myself alone, and then we've joined with Amy. We've got, we cover a lot of topics, but there are some topics that we do not cover on a public platform because of certain reasons. So with the membership, we are thinking about opening up very special live streams where we can talk about topics that are not open to public and only for the Luxies. So this is one of the ideas that we have. And by next week on my channel, you'll be able to see the different levels. And yeah, that will be, I think, something very interesting to boost the live stream to the next level.
Exactly. Thank you, Kat, for adding this detail. But like I said, you guys will learn more about it later. It's a great way for us to really get all our our truest fans of this show, and just like get into more discussions and stuff like that. So I think it would be fun. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen now. Like I said, we did prepare some slides for you guys. Okay, FOMO 1. So between Kat and I, we're gonna share with you 10 different purchases that we've made because of FOMO. Before we get into it, I'm going to let Kat get started first. Before we get into it, if you're new to the show and you don't know how it works, we usually have this topic at the beginning. So we're going to go through our FOMO purchases. And then after that, we'll open up the floor and answer your questions. But for us to be able to see your questions and also to pull it into the screen, it's so much easier if you would just type question marks first, just the same way you would type a question if you wanted to talk to us. Type a bunch of question marks first, then your question. So it really helps us see it since we're on a different platform. Okay, Kat, I'm gonna let you get started.
Okay, so I don't make a lot of FOMO purchases, but I think in the recent years, I definitely have made more. Maybe with social media and, friend influencers, I definitely are more aware of things that are limited edition, hard to get, very special colors. So before FOMO was actually coined a word, or many years ago, this is almost 2013. Yeah, almost 10 years old. So before that, maybe the FOMO word wasn't really very popular. This was actually a FOMO purchase. I saw this bag, my Chanel camera case, on Holly Enery. She revealed it on one of her videos. She's a very big YouTuber in the States. And I saw it and I had FOMO because it was something that I just felt absolutely in love with. I didn't know if they had it in store. I didn't know what to do. I started to call the Chanel, and that time I was so new to Chanel. This is actually my second bag, so I just got my jumbo before this. And many months later, and I thought, okay, I saw it on Holly's video, and I was like, oh my gosh, how do I get this? What do? I don't know anything. I don't know who to call. I don't even know what is an essay. Like, what is that? Like, that was just so new to me. And I remember that the girl that was helping me out, she said, oh, yeah, we've got one in store. You want to come down? And it was just so easy then. You didn't have to, like, hunt anything down. So I was like, okay, I'm coming down. I got my husband to drive me all the way downtown, asked him to park the car at the side of the road. I ran down and I picked up this bag. I paid for it. I ran down again. It was just one of my first ever chased FOMO purchases, and I love it. So I would say it was a good chase.
I love this bag of yours. I think not that many people have it. I think aside from you and Holly, Anna, Erie, I haven't seen it on anybody. And also I remember you saying that this bag was so well made, right? It's inside out is leather. It's thick lambskin. It looks really, really good.
Yeah, it's a seasonal bag. And ever since they came out with this camera bag, they didn't make it again. And I wonder why, because
Chanel does that a lot.
Yeah, I was thinking, oh, maybe if they come out with a different color in the following season, because I really like it. It's a good size. It's not too bulky. It's the leather is really good. And its interior is burgundy leather, which nowadays you don't really see. You see canvas or like the cloth material. So yeah, they didn't make this anymore. Maybe it was just too expensive to make. It's too expensive to make now. Who knows? I don't know.
Oh, I definitely think it's cost reasons and yeah, the fact that they just don't make them the same anymore. This is a great purchase.
Okay, this is influence and FOMO at the same time. Now, I don't buy a lot of costume jewelry earrings because I don't know. I just like smaller earrings, or if I like one, it's one dangly one. But this was something a bit more out there for me and unique because that's that Chanel. And the size is just right where I could just put it on my earlobe and just kind of like pass my second earring. So I saw, was it you, Amy? I think it was you who got it first. Yeah,
I think we were chatting about it because I'm like, these are coming out.
I was like, what? Really? Are they really that good? You're like, girl, they're really good. I'm like, okay.
I was like, these are gonna be hot. These are gonna be hot. Everyone's talking about it.
I'm like, okay, I gotta get it. And obviously, this was already when FOMO in Singapore was at its peak, right? Everybody was chasing things. So obviously, I could not get anything in Singapore. I actually got Clara. Clara, who was in Hong Kong. I think she was on the way there as well. And she managed to get one pair for herself and one pair for me. And I got that delivered all the way back from Singapore. That's like max FOMO for me because don't actually ask people, can you get it? Can you ask one for me? I was texting her and she's like, I'm on the way. But it was a good purchase. I really love these
glad
earrings.
that you managed that Clara managed to help you with that one because this pair is still very popular, and also like you said, it's just the right amount of logo, and also like it's unique in a way because I know Chanel has done a lot of logo Chanel ones, but like the ones that I have, they're pretty out there. Not everyone likes that kind of logo, like really big logos. This one is just tasteful enough. You can still wear them every day. And yeah, they look so good. Like on anybody.
Fun and just subtle. Just subtle, right? Just Chanel and a little bit. Because it's not the usual double C's, which are which are very common, but they're beautiful. Whereas this is just Chanel. So it's different, but it still says Chanel. So yeah, I actually really love these pair. They're just so different for me in my whole collection. I don't have anything like this, absolutely.
Yeah. These are good. These are good purchases.
My ultimate. I think this is my ultimate FOMO. I've told the story so many times, so I'm not going to repeat myself, but this was actually didn't start it out as FOMO, and everybody was seeing, talking about the caramel bag. I didn't really catch on to it very quickly, but after I started to see photos come up on Instagram, and then I saw one video on YouTube, and then FOMO hit me hard because I was like, oh my God, it is a gorgeous color. And more pictures and things started to come up. I think it's very similar to the gray, right? More and more. And if you love the color and that feeling of, I need this color, I don't care how I'm going to get it, I'm going to find a way. I texted my Singapore essay. I texted one in Malaysia. I also texted one, what's the name? She's like not a reseller, but like what do you call them? Like they help you buy.
Yeah, aren't they?
Personal shopper. A personal
yeah, they basically
shopper.
source you an item.
Yeah,
they're kind of resellers, I guess.
Yeah, kind of resell. Yeah, personal shopper, but
yeah, personal shoppers.
Everyone like sold out, can't get, just forget it, don't think about it. And I was actually in Malaysia when I got this, and Malaysia was in lockdown. So, the pro of getting in a lockdown is all the shops were closed. And because it was closed, the essay in Malaysia was saying, there's no way the shops are closed. We don't know if they're stocked. We don't know when we're going to open. And all of a sudden, just before I left Malaysia, we reopened. And I was like, could it be? Could it be I could get this? I tried. I went down there. I couldn't get it. The next day she texted me and she's like, get your ass down here right now. There's one piece. That is maximum excitement, FOMO excitement. When I got it and she took it out from the box, and I just knew. I was like, wow, this is a hot color. So very, very good FOMO purchase. I have been getting so many emails since I revealed this until today. I just got one like last week saying, if I ever sell this, please, number one, I want it. I would pay more than premium. I'll pay more than reseller. And I was like, okay. I don't know, but okay.
Yes, this was one of those. Yeah, I think I remember even telling you as you were going on your taxi ride. I was like, oh, please, someone get this brown bag, because I already know I couldn't get it. And I remember it was really during that time when the lockdowns were kind of different. I think we were already in lockdown for a while, but then you guys got into lockdown. You just came back to Malaysia or something like that. And then somehow your store was open, and then they were able to call you. So I'm like, oh yes, please, someone between the girls that I know, please someone get it, because I just know browns, they are so rare in a way for Chanel to do. I mean, they've been doing it for several seasons in a row now, but they're always different. They never come back with the same brown. And this brown is so gorgeous. It's like the perfect light caramel. It's super unique. It's one of a kind.
Yep.
Yeah.
So definitely a good FOMO purchase.
Yeah.
My caramel Chanel bag. Also Chanel, huh? 3 already.
I know. I think that's the thing with Chanel. It's like there's always this chase. I mean, everything is a chase, but especially with Chanel, because you cannot buy online, first of all. You always have to somehow, if you want to get the harder to get items, you have to have a good relationship with an essay. So like there's all these factors, right? And plus they're not available. They're really hard to get. Like all these things, everyone wants the same thing, right? So I think that's why it contributes to the FOMO a lot.
And of course, my last good final purchase is also Chanel. This was the one that I bought because of a price increase. This is a FOMO price increase. I wasn't not planned, and even today, I'm still unsure of it. I'm on the fence to say like this is an amazing purchase. I know, like I think today I know it's a good purchase. I think it took me almost a year to really solidify this because I bought it very unexpectedly. I knew the prices were going up like the next day, and I was again in Malaysia. So Malaysia maybe is a good place to get bags. I was in Malaysia, and then the next day, I knew the prices were going up. So I thought, I don't have anything, you know, I didn't budget for anything actually. So I was thinking, okay, maybe just go and take a look and let's just see. And I suspected there would be nothing anyway. So I walked into the store and I said, I was looking at some bags. I was looking at the Chanel 19, and that's when I found out the Chanel 19 strap was shortened already. That's when I found out. And I also saw some ladies buying the classic flaps in the old price. And they were like, you know, ticking them. I was thinking, well, should I maybe get a classic flap? I was getting a bit of FOMO in the store, like, nah. Then I just asked, I said, do you happen to have a reissue, you know, black? And he's like, I think I have one. And he goes upstairs and he brings it down. I was like, fear of missing out was like on high alert. It's like, I'll take it. And I walked away with this bag at its old price. The next day, wow, it went up by what, 20% in just overnight. I could sell the bag at a higher price. Obviously I won't, just that I was so shocked at the amount that went up overnight. It was insane. In ringgit terms, it was like almost 3,000 ringgit. That's a lot of money, okay? So why am I on the fence of it is because maybe I just didn't know whether I wanted this bag. But every time I take it out and I try it on, I'm like, oh, I love it. So it's on a fence. But today I'm thinking, yeah, goodbye, because it's a really good buy because the prices are so insane.
Yes, and it also went up in price just recently. So you've just gotten yourself 2 big price increases. Just by FOMO buying this one.
I know. I won't sell it. I doubt I will sell it. But if I get like another offer from Hermes, I don't know. This will probably be a good one to be up the chopping block. But with the prices now at Chanel, I really have to think really, really hard to let go of these good FOMO purchases, because repurchasing them again is... It's gonna be really hard.
At least with this one, it's always gonna be a classic, right? So whether you decide you need the money now and sell it now, or you decide later, years later, there's always gonna be a market for this one. And minis are always a good idea because they already start off at a better price. But yeah, it's a classic. You cannot go wrong with it. So definitely great purchase.
I think with the FOMO purchases, a theme among all of them, like the theme among all the FOMO purchases, is that they are good because if I really need to get money back from them, it's not that I'm looking at them as like holding some investments, but if I really need to move them, they move really quickly. So I think that's one aspect when I think, okay, this is a good FOMO purchase. FOMO purchases are never good, but that seems to be an element that cuts across all of these. Like if I really need to liquidify these assets, they go quickly.
Okay.
All right. This was also partially influence, partially FOMO, and a partial chase. I thought it was something that I would wear a lot, and I love it. I think it's so cool on so many people. And I was thinking of looking at this picture and look at myself. I feel cool. I think I look cool with my short hair and all that. But it just didn't work. It was one of those purchases that the idea is great, but the way I wear my clothes, I think I was just so worried about the vaquera leather across my body. I hardly wear it. So I always wear a lot of like sleeveless. But you know, when you live in Singapore or in Malaysia, you sweat a lot. Okay, your skin's always a little sweaty, you know, you're a little damp, it's humid. And when the leather touches my skin, I didn't like the way the underneath started to get a little like wet. Okay. I was like, oh my God, one time it happened and I was like, never again. So the only time I will wear it was when I wear t-shirts. And then the handle is vaquera and all of that. So there were a little bit of little things on this particular FOMO purchase that it didn't work out for me. I know a lot of people love this on YouTube, and I still see a lot of people wear it. But I ended up not selling it. It just didn't suit my lifestyle, didn't suit my character as well.
I think with this bag, because I have tried it too, it was one of those things where once it was out, it was super popular. A lot of the influencers that we follow also got it. But I think for me, the biggest issue with this bag, I mean, Vachetta, yes, they do darken, and it's like a personal preference whether you're, get used to that or not. I'm used to Vachetta darkening, but for me, it was the shape also. It's just an awkward, rounded. It's pretty large too. I think for our body frame, which is quite similar, it basically covers my whole like front of the body, right? When I wear a crossbody in front of me, which kind of looks very, it looks too big. Like it just looks very bulky on us. And then wearing it on the waist was impossible because even at the smallest setting, it would just fall down. So I think for me, it has more to do with the size and the shape. But yeah, definitely the trend is there. It is super cool. Like I even love the way that you wear it. But like you said, if you're always in spaghetti tank tops and stuff like that, and it's super hot, maybe it's just not ideal. And if you're not going to wear it, then that defeats the purpose.
When I look at myself, I'm like, it's nice, it looks cool, but I don't know. I don't know why I just didn't click with the bag in the end. So I think that's also a big factor of whether a FOMO purchases works for you, because you may think it looks good, you see photos of it, but when you actually have it and use it and try it, and you go, didn't work out. And this is exactly one of those.
I think that's the biggest lessons learned sometimes with even when you watch other people's reviews, and I'm like talking about everybody, anybody, even our reviews, that if a bag suits us doesn't mean that it'll suit you, right? So you really have to try it out. Sometimes it just doesn't work out, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Kat, for sharing your FOMO purchases. I think they were awesome. Like even this one, it's like, it looks great, but yeah, I get it. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Okay, I'm going to share a few of mine. Like I said earlier, I feel like a lot of my purchases are FOMO purchases, maybe because I'm such a big fan of Chanel and I feel like every bag is a hustle. But I'll just talk about my top ones. So here you see me wearing, that was just 2 weeks ago, wearing my beautiful graffiti reissue mini. No, I haven't sold it. I don't know why some of you thought that I sold it. I never sold it. It's beautiful. The bag is so unique. It's from the Métier d'Art 2019 collection, one of the last, the last that Karl Lagerfeld was still around. So for me, the FOMO part in this whole slide here is, I don't know, this collection just really caught my heart. Like it literally, everything was so beautiful. Everything was gold. If you remember the runway, the collection was so extravagant. Everything, I just fell in love with the whole theme. But especially with these two bags. And I don't know if you guys remember, but I actually initially bought these two bags. The ones that you're seeing here on the screen. I bought the reissue and I bought the gold mini as well. I actually bought both of these. But I don't think I revealed it that way. Like I just told you guys in the video that after I bought these two, that I felt like the gold bag was just too much. I loved it. I honestly still love it. I wouldn't have changed it if it were me today, knowing how like the prices are just crazy and they just keep going up. And the fact that it's so hard to go back and to rebuy it, because once you let it go, it's gone, right? It's one of those things where the gold, I was FOMOing because I was just like, oh, if I don't take it, then, I know for sure it's going to be gone. If I try to rebuy it from the resale market, it'll be crazy premium. But at the time I reasoned that it's one of those stunning, such loud bag that I wouldn't be wearing all the time. And I still believe so, but it's just that I do miss it a little bit. Anyway, the FOMO part was that with the gold mini, classic mini. And in the end, I resolved with just buying the little card holder as a souvenir of that line, like the crocodile gold emboss calfskin, because like I said, I still miss it. I just wish that I'd never change my mind back then. I was just kind of too scared that, oh, maybe it's too much, too loud. But the me today, knowing how these are basically collectibles in a way, and how, yes, they're loud, but they are so special. I wouldn't have changed my mind today, but back then I went with what I felt like was the right course of action. But yeah, I still have these pictures, and I'm like sometimes wondering, I'm like, oh, what happens if I still had these?
Yeah.
Still had the mini.
No, but it's gorgeous. I love your graffiti bag. I think it's so unique. Like I always feel like in our collections, we always have like a classic set of bags that are just, your classic, elegant, subtle. But you got to have one or two loud bags, where it's just a talking piece that if you can just wear anything, like what you're wearing Doraemon
Yeah.
with, I don't know, was that some skirt, something really, normal, plain, and you got this Chanel really talking piece bag. It's good purchase, this one.
I totally agree. Like I said, both of these were FOMO purchases. It's just that I ended up not keeping the bottom one.
Yeah.
But yeah, both of them definitely. And this reissue is stunning. Like you said, you need something unique and fun sometimes in your collection. Not something that you would wear all the time, but like Kat said, sometimes you just pull it. One day you decide to wear it. It's like it reminds you why you bought it in the first place. It's because of that uniqueness and how special that collection was.
I prefer it to the gold, actually.
I do too, which is the reason why I did end
so
up
no need to FOMO about a gold one anymore.
Yeah. I mean, it is definitely FOMO. Like this is like raw definition of FOMO, right? Because both of these two bags were the most unique of the entire collection, right? Literally the most unique. And I wanted to keep both, but then I'm like, oh, I shouldn't.
Be a responsible human being. Take one only.
I know. It's like, oh man. But anyway, that's what happened. Okay. My next bag right here is the Lady Dior. This is not as dramatic of an experience. It's mostly because the price was about to go up. So I bought this on my birthday month last year. So it was exactly a year ago. And I don't know if you all remember, but yeah, I think you all remember. Like basically in May, we had the big Chanel increase, like 25%, 30% increase, crazy, like literally gave everyone a heart attack. And then Dior said they wanted to do their price increase too. And like everyone, I was like, okay, I've been lusting for this Lady Dior for the longest time. I still don't have my Lady Dior. They're about to have a huge price increase. At the time, I didn't even know how much it was going to go up, but actually it did go up quite a bit. I think at least 10 or 15%. Or could it have been 20? I don't remember. It was just a lot. And so I just bit the bullet. I bit the bullet, similar to how I did it with the classic flop, but it was just the Lady Dior, because literally after I bought it, it went up. I think I remember how much. I think the price back then before tax was $4,500, and I think right after the price increase it was $5,300. It literally went up by like almost 20%. It's crazy. Yeah, I love this bag. Like I said in my most recent video, my ultimate collection video, this is still like I consider this to be part of it, because even though I don't wear it a lot, it's more an evening bag. Like just the whole vibe of it is more of an evening bag, but it's a proper evening bag. But it's also a bag that you can still wear it during the day. Not that I do, but I just feel like having that one classic Dior is, has to be in everyone's ultimate collection. So I feel like it's a good purchase. It's not something that I wear all the time, but I just love it. I just love it.
I like it. I think the Dior boat has sailed for me. I didn't buy it for so many times, and I have sort of given up because I can't justify the prices that they are today. But if I were to buy one, I think now the mini is definitely one that I would consider. But still, it is crazy expensive. So this is definitely a good FOMO purchase. I remember we were chatting like, should I do it? I'm like, Go do it.
I know. I'm just so glad that I went with it because honestly, I mean, I don't even know how much it costs today, right? I'm sure there has been another price increase already. It's just insane how much these are mini bags. These are like, we're talking about even back then, the classic minis, it was in this $3,000-$4,000. It was reasonable back then. Now it's just so crazy, and they're just mini bags, right? And especially this one, it's just an evening bag for me. But I just love having one. I'm glad I have it. Yeah, I just wore it on the left in my red dress. That was just last week. That was just on my birthday. So yeah, it's one of those special FOMO purchases that worked out really well.
This is the ultimate one now. This one.
Yes, this is this year's version. Okay, so this year's version's FOMO purchases. So yes, I'm referring to the classic flap in the gray, the small classic flap 21A collection. I just pictured it with my this in the same collection I bought the other vanity as well. But the FOMO purchase was mostly the classic flap. It was one of those things like, I'm like, I've been talking about owning a classic flap for years, and finally they came out with a beautiful color again that I was able to get my hands on. Honestly, I didn't know I was gonna be able to, but you guys know the story by now, probably, if you watch my reveal. And it was a good FOMO. It was one of those things where I'm like, oh, but I'm saving for my Birkin. I'm trying to be responsible. I'm like, oh, but if I don't buy it, the ship will sail for sure. And, this color will never come back soon enough. Because yes, similar colors will come back eventually, but soon enough, not sure. And especially right before the price increase too. This was an earlier June purchase, but we all know, right? Chanel always has their price increases every year. It's just a matter of time. Even if you don't know the actual date, we all know it was about to come. So I'm just glad that I got it finally, that I got one classic flap, like, a real double flap in my collection, and in a color that is extraordinary. Like, I don't need a black one. This is the perfect one for me.
No more black bags. But this classic flap or these colors is the reason that I have 2 FOMO videos on my channel.
Oh my gosh, yes,
this
right.
bag inspired 2 videos on my channel because I love gray and I also want a classic flap, but I just, wow, could not stomach the money yet. So obviously when the price is high, and we spoke about it last week on our live stream on my channel, that FOMO intensifies, like the fear of missing out and the fear of and the responsible person trying to pull you back. It's more intense, the feeling, the higher the price point. Because you can have FOMO on small items, right? Like, oh, should I get it? Should I get it? But it's kind of like fun FOMO. But when the price is enormous, gigantic, and you shouldn't get it, but you want it, oh my gosh, it's a tug of war. So this created a lot of tug of war in my heart. I was like, oh my gosh, should I do it? Oh my gosh, should I do it? Should I do it? Should I not pay my house? Should I just do it?
I'm sorry, babe. But yeah, I totally understand it. It's the varying degrees of FOMO, right? Yeah. This one especially, I think, like I said, I was just there at the right time, at the right space, asked at the right time when they actually had one in stock. And there was a lot of luck involved, obviously. I guess I wanted it enough to go after it, even after I had given up once already. But I just told myself, if I don't try harder, at least I tried, right? Like, if I didn't try harder, then for sure I'm going to regret it. So I'm glad that I just went for it. And I'm glad that they actually ended up having, like, my essay ended up having one. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like literally meant for me, right? The size, the color, the season, and yeah, it's wonderful.
This is really like similar. I mean, like your story is very similar to my caramel bag, because I was sort of like, no way, forget it. But I said, come on, let's try. Let's keep trying, keep poking. And then, yeah, I have one. I'm like, oh my God, let's get down there. For you, you didn't go down there, right? You just paid a deposit online.
Yeah. But it's also one of those things where ever since the pandemic, because it never used to be like that.
Oh
But
yeah.
ever since the pandemic, the regular clients, they're able to just work with them well, not online. Like they sent me a link, I paid for it, like basically like that, because they would rather have less people, and they know they cannot accommodate everyone. Like there's still always a lineup outside, but that's why there's a lineup, because they can only accommodate a limited amount of people. So if we can work with them remotely, then the better, right?
Awesome purchase, this one, babe. This is a good purchase.
I know, I love it. I love it. And this was just me wearing it the week before my birthday. So yes, I secretly had it for a while. Okay, up next, of course, I had to throw in some jewelry. You guys know I love my costume jewelry, and this collection was the spring summer runway of 2019. It was the first time, or at least to me anyway, when I notice earrings that I'm like, OMG, like literally on the runway, you see every girl wearing it, either the crystal version or the plain version, but everyone looks so stunning. Like literally, it was the earrings that got me that season. I know they had the pink bag and everything, but to me, it was the jewelry. It was like, oh, my eyes were like lasered into the jewelry. So I remember that year at that time, so it was around March. That was when we were in Hawaii. We went to Hawaii when this collection launched. And stupid me anyway, I tried on the plain ones, but it was the one with the pose. And stupid me didn't buy it at the time because I was like, oh, it's the thick pose. It's the one that tapers, and those kind of like irks me when I wear them for a long time. So I didn't buy it. But then I kept thinking about it. I even went back to the shop like 2 days later. Obviously, they were sold out 2 days later. I'm like, oh, what did I do? So I came home. I reached out to my store. Obviously, they were sold out. And then I had to reach out to personal shoppers because I'm like, there's no way I'm without these earrings. There's no way. There's just no way, because I love them since the runway. I loved them when I tried them on, but I didn't buy them. So I'm like, no, I have to hunt them down. And originally, I actually just went with the crystal one when I decided to buy them because they were so pricey. It was one of those collections where the price of costume jewelry just skyrocketed, and then ever since then, they are so expensive. So I just went with the crystal one, but then I was like chatting with my personal shopper. I'm like, oh, should I just get the other one too? And she's like, I think you should. I'm like, oh, okay, please find me the other one. So I ended up with both pairs, and I love them. They're not everyday pieces. Obviously, they're not like the Chanel cute ones that Kat showed earlier. But to me, these are just vacation earrings. These are just like anytime evening, like big evening night, date night earrings. Like I just wear them anytime because I love them so much.
And you look really good with them because your hair's long and it just elongates the whole section here. Every time you wear them on your videos, I'm like, dang, they are good. They look really, really good. They stand out. Like what you said, right? If you saw them on the runway and all the girls were wearing them, your eyes just laser focus into those earrings because it's just a whole look. You can have very simple makeup, but the earrings, the earrings talk. So I love, nice. But I can't. I think did I try these?
No, you're totally right. I think that is the reason why I'm so attracted to long earrings, because I have this longer face and longer neck. They just tend to suit me. And yes, with the long hair. But it's true. Like these earrings, the moment someone wears them, you just zero into their face, and like that's what you notice. But it looks good. That's exactly how I felt when I saw the runway girls. I'm like, wow, they are stunning. So glad that I went for it. Of course, I had to pay a bit of a premium because I had to find personal shoppers to find them, but worth every penny because, I mean, I don't know. Chanel hasn't come up with anything like that really catches, like really my heart I just cannot get enough of. This was the collection for me. This was the collection, and these earrings are stunning. But of course, we have to share some not so good purchases. I mean, these were not so bad. Okay, so the story behind the Jadzia earrings, by the way, so these, I kind of just stumbled upon them because I didn't buy very much Dior. Like my bag I bought last year. Before that, I just kind of just was dipping my toes into Dior because it still is a very popular brand. It was a popular brand with influencers at the time. I kind of stumbled upon these earrings one time. I was just browsing the department store where they carried Dior, and I think it's either the essay. I can't remember what it was. It wasn't my essay. It was just someone that worked there. She showed me the earrings, especially this pair. I was so attracted to them because they were asymmetrical, something different, right? And they really look so good. They look really good. I still own them. The reason why I still have them is because they are so stunning. The only reason why they're not as successful purchases for me is because they hurt me. Dior earrings, they use a thicker post. Me and my thick post, okay? My ears just don't like, my ears are like the skin likes to be tight and everything. Like it just doesn't work with thicker posts or tapered posts. I just have this issue, okay? So it's more me than the earrings. But because of that reason, they are less successful purchases. But the crazy in me loved the idea and also the look of these earrings so much that I went and bought another pair, which I didn't show on the screen. I should have shown it. I bought another pair in the plain, no crystal, in the bronze, kind of like an age gold hardware. And I never wear them. Even this pair, I never wear them. So yes, they're beautiful. I never wear them. So what's the point? So they are less successful because of that reason. I was able to finally sell the other pair. At least I'm not holding on to all of them. I still have these. I'm still trying to sell them, but like, yeah, it kind of breaks my heart because they're so beautiful, but they just, yeah, me and my thick post earrings just don't jive.
So there's no way you could like, stretch your ear to do one of those like holes, right?
No. I don't know, Kat. I just have a sensitive because I used to have 2 holes on each ear too, and the other one they just closed on themselves. I think my skin, especially this one side, this side is not as bad, but I don't know if it's the way they used to do piercings because they used to use the guns, right? Or if it's just me because this side of my ear is thinner than this side, so I don't know. There's just something that is way more sensitive on this ear. And if you try to do anything more, because it's already sensitive to begin with, if you try to do anything that is not comfortable with just inserting a thicker post or taper post or any sort of, not sure what else, but at least I'm not allergic to metals. I'm just sensitive to the size of the gauge. So yeah, it's too bad. But anyway,
so interesting because I know when I heard about you asked me the question, is it a thicker post? Is it a tapered post? I'm like, what? What are you talking about? What tapered post? And you educated me of how some earrings taper down like this. And I don't have that kind of issue. So things like that, I don't realize. I do realize thicker posts, like the whole thing is like really thick. And I'm like, it's a little hard to go in, kind of hurts. After a while, you get used to it. But you're like, no, I can't even wear them. So that was quite surprising. You don't know it until you like try it on. You're like, oh, tapered post.
I know, Kat. I'm so jealous of you guys. You, Clara, none of you guys have any of these issues. I'm like, can someone please say that they understand me? And luckily, there are some of my some of the subbies that understand me because they're like, oh yeah, I have the same issue. I'm like, okay, I'm not alone here. But I know a lot of people don't care. Like they're just piercing, just wear anything, right? But not to me, which is why I have stopped buying Dior earrings and even some Chanel earrings. Because even the latest 21A collection, they have these kind of like the superposed like CCs. They're so stunning, but they are, again, the thicker post. And I'm like, no, I'm tired of those. I have a couple of pairs of those thicker post earrings already. I can hardly wear them. I can wear them like an hour. And then it starts bothering me. So I'm like, no more.
That's interesting. So now I notice them as well. So like, ooh, take a post.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Kat. And also, just a reminder, we're gonna jump into the Q&A portion, and then, of course, type your questions with a bunch of question marks as a reminder. So let me go back to your comments. By the way, guys, share with us some of your FOMO purchases and how did it go with for you?
That was really good. That was fun. Kind of like thinking back at that point in time where I was buying it, there was this, I mean, kind of feel guilty about it sometimes, like, oh, but now fast forward to today, I look back like, good purchase, good girl, well done, Kat, well done, and well done, Amy.
I think you're, I don't know, are you better at controlling? I don't know. For me, I think to a varying degree, every purchase has some FOMO feelings. I think it's normal. And like we said last time too, FOMO is not necessarily bad as long as you're responsible, that you've planned for it in a way, like if you have enough savings and if you don't buy everything under the sun. So it's okay. It's okay once in a while to break that sort of shell, and just one exception, just bite the bullet once in a while. Not every day you do that, right? So Kobe Girl says, bought my mini rectangular top handle because of FOMO. Yes.
Yes.
That is a beautiful bag. I have yet to see that bag. I have not yet even seen, well, in person, I mean, seen that bag.
I think I was scrolling down the comments and I saw a few people here. Like, I don't know if Isabel is still here, but she definitely has a FOMO purchase.
Yes. Maria's in the house. She's like, yes, to private live streams. That's the thing. I think a lot of you will understand. I mean, I don't know necessarily if many of you will understand, but I'm sure you've noticed sometimes there are people that don't belong to this live stream, right? We're talking about trolls and like maybe some people who are like just
spying on us.
So it's nice to have other special live streams, and we're not going to do them like every single week, but like I feel like sometimes there are maybe topics that are a little bit should we talk about it in like such a public platform, but among friends, on
the Luxies,
then we can do it, right? So I think it's time that we do that, something like that. And also some of you one of you also suggested that we create a Facebook group. And I think that's what we're going to maybe end up implementing, is that all the members will also be able to join that group. And same thing, sometimes when we can't have if we can't have that live stream per se, like that, when that topic of interest comes up, we can still type about it, Mm-hmm. I don't know. Like I said, will I iron out more of the details later? Right, Shanna. So yes, Chanel did come up with a camera bag, like very simple caviar with a tiny little CC in the front. Yeah, exactly. I don't think it's the same. It does not look the same at all. It's not even close. Obviously, it's still a nice bag. If you have it, please don't be offended. It's still a nice bag, and it's still caviar. It's very durable and everything. But just the overall feeling, the way they used to make them before, like the one that Kat owns and the ones that they make them now, there's just a disconnect in terms of craftsmanship, the material, like the CC on the bag that Kat owns is extra big and extra shiny. There's just all these little details that really makes the bag look so much more luxurious, like it's true luxury, right? Whereas now I feel like sometimes I feel like these maybe should not have produced. I feel like they almost are just mass produced in a way to accommodate an increasing demand. And because caviar is such a popular fabric that more people will buy it. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. I think the older, I mean, I haven't been like a Chanel addict for long. I mean, I'm not an addict. I won't say that. Like a Chanel lover, but I don't remember them having so many, just so much and so many varieties of bags in the past. When I got that camera bag, that was like a few of the seasonal bag pieces. So it's quite targeted. You know, it's not excessive like a buffet of bags. So maybe then it's not mass produced. So I remember just seeing of, oh, this is seasonal. There's a few seasonal bags, and they'll just put it out for you. That's it. That's all. That's all. It's not 30 colors and 30 designs and different materials and just so much of it for one season. In a year, there are 6 seasons or 6 releases. It's just insane. So maybe that's why we face these kind of issues now, where it's, you know, we just have to check more and more on our bags. Whereas that time, I just took that one piece, I looked at it and said, it's perfect. Give it to me. And I bought it, and no issues except for mine where I dented it on my own. But otherwise, the bag is perfect. It came perfect. Shocking.
You know, it's true now that you just reminded me, because last week we've got a question, and sorry, I'm going to get to your comment, MK. Last week we had one of you ask us whether we would have accepted like a flaw, and the way she described it was like a crack on the seam, so the way I understood it was like, oh, are you sure that it's not just where the needle goes into and it's just a little, like the leather is just a little, like the hole looks bigger basically. But actually she ended up sending me a picture privately, and I was like, I shared it with Kat. I was like, wow, this is unacceptable. In fact, I totally forgot to put it in the slides. Maybe I can just share it. Can I just share a photo? Let me see if I can just share a photo.
Yeah, so while you try and do that, I'll just explain. So we thought it was just maybe, you know, because bags are handmade. Yeah, they're definitely, you know, machine made, you know, with the sewing on, but there are some pieces that they have to be handmade. So we thought, oh, maybe it's a handmade part, you know, maybe it's sewn in, or some part that may look like a flaw, but it's actually not. It's because it's handmade. Yeah. But once we saw the photos, that bag needs to go back. It is so badly made, and it looks like they tried to cover it up, like maybe in the making process they're like, oh, there's a flaw, all right, let's sew it a little bit more. They damaged it, and you're like, okay, never mind, put it on the shelf. That is just crazy that you would actually put that kind of thing in store and sell it.
Yeah,
and then later when the customer says, I think there's something wrong with
it. Sorry, go ahead, Kat. I just had to transfer the photo from my phone to the screen, because
and then the customer says like, oh, look, I noticed something's not right with the bag, and the SA says, no, it's not a flaw. No way. Okay, no way.
Yeah, so there's no way. It's these kinds of flaws. That's just being sloppy when they made it. It should never have been. I mean, okay, granted, I'm gonna go ahead and share, because I just added it to the slides. So I'm just gonna go ahead, share window. Okay, so this was the subby's bag. She went ahead and circled the crack. It's not really a crack. From what I can see, it looks like it's when they try to seal all the special Le Boy edges. This is a Le Boy bag that somehow they made a boo-boo, basically, okay? They made a boo-boo. It's like this long. It's like 3 inches long, and there's like, it just looks like it's some sort of crack, right? This should, I don't know. I mean, I don't remember if this was the front or the back, but this is just one of those things where we're paying quite a lot of money for these bags, right? It should be near perfect. Like I would have accepted, say, like where the seam is, where the leather is just like a little bit, like the hole is a little bit bigger because where the needle went through, that's fine. But something like this is just too obvious, and it's quite long, right? I don't know. So this looks pretty bad to us.
Zoom this up, you could actually see like the if you're looking straight at it, you could actually see the leather like peeling out. Like what? I mean, the only way you can like inspect your bag is to actually look at it up close. People might say, oh, you're just too picky, it's handmade. But at these prices, you have to be picky. Like, crazy.
And it's not even just about being picky, it's also about being reasonable. Like, this is her friend's bag, which is why she decided to check her bag, because her friend saw her own bag, brand new. Both of them are brand new from the store. And where the seam, like where the needle goes through, like where this is the seam, the leather is actually cracking. So unacceptable for a brand new bag.
Unacceptable. Out. Ta.
I know. I'm like, oh my gosh, now that I see like what she was trying to describe in words. Sometimes it's hard to describe in words in a live stream. I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, definitely I would have just returned it. But they were also telling her that if she wanted to exchange it, because it was after July 1st, that she would have to pay the difference. So that was like, I don't know. I would try to argue in this case, because I'm like, well, it's clearly a defect, right? It's not perfect. Like, it's not my fault that I had to exchange it, basically. So hopefully everything goes well for you. Keep us posted. Okay, so from MK says, Chanel comes up with new camera designs every year, often not so attractive. By the way, yours is unusual and rare beauty. I love it. And I usually hate camera bags. Yeah, that's what I say. Like, it's so beautiful, the one that you own. It's just one of a kind. Really, really nice. From Gless, my FOMO right now are the Coco handles. They brought back with the leather lining. I have one, but fabric line. Is it crazy that I want leather lining? Oh, no, it's not crazy. I think we all go FOMO for different reasons, right? I totally understand it. I have a version of both, right? I have the leather line with the exotic skin, and I also have the regular lining. So to use them, it's exactly the same. They don't feel any different. It's just that, like I said in my video, I do feel that at least the one that I have, the one that was leather line, I did feel that it was better made. I can feel it. Like, I could just feel it. Right? So
I like leather line. I mean, it's more luxurious and you're paying for it. And of course, there are pros and cons to leather line. With leather line, you can get dents and all. But if nowadays, bag organizers are everywhere. You can just go to the store, you can get a bag organizer. Maybe years ago, it was kind of challenging to find the right organizer for your bags. So a lot of people prefer, canvas lined. But now you can get a gorgeous leather lined bag and still protect your bag easily. So yeah, it's just more luxurious. I love it.
Okay, so I love this idea. Again, throw us ideas, whatever you guys think about, because like I said, we're still trying to iron out our details on how the membership works. But Azar is saying, I would love to see other Luxie's collection. Maybe this is something that would work for private live streams and even give a more variety and others' perspective. I love that idea. Because I love the idea. I'm not saying we're doing it, but I'm just saying I love the idea because we already have guests. Like, we have Clara, we have Isabel, we have Catherine. We already have invited guests onto this live stream platform before. So this could potentially be something that we invite our own members in the future.
Yeah.
Right?
We could do like a private Zoom because we know that these are the Luxies that we can invite. When I started my live stream alone, I had a comment that was like a year ago and said that let's have a Zoom together. But I didn't know how to go about connecting to all the Luxies privately at the same time, get everybody together and have like all screens and all and keep it safe because you don't want it trolls. So I think with this membership, when we can contact the real Luxies, that could work. We could have like a Zoom of like 20 people and we're all like, look at this bag. like a live, web, what was it called? Like a Zoom meeting. but only with
Yes,
the
yes, exactly. Because uh true, you want to protect your, well, not identity per se, but like you want to just not show everything to every stranger out there, right? So like not everyone is public like me and Kat, and even then we don't share every single aspect of our life. So having members, we know at least these are like the close-knit people. Okay, Lux Love Journey. I almost fell for the Coco handle in caramel color. After checking online, rushed to the store and was sold out. I was told, glad it didn't happen. I'm still after the beige classic flop. Yeah. It, I love to think that sometimes things are just not meant for it. And yes, you might have this intense feeling, this intense FOMO, or this intense sort of pain that you're missing out. But at the end of the day, if it's really not meant to be, better things will come.
Yep.
Let's see.
I see a Pauline.
I see new faces. Do you have FOMO for the Chanel Diana? Not me personally.
Not me too.
Yeah.
It's one of the older designs.
Yeah.
Did they bring it back? Did they bring the
No, I mean, they always have some sort of seasonal bags that are, kind of like a flat bag, and they're sometimes doing like the special handle with the CCs on it, or sometimes they have like the Chanel logo on the handle. So they do something different. This season coming up, 21B, they're gonna have like straps where they're gonna have CCs on the straps. So like never really the Diana, I think, but they do have special designs that are seasonal, of course. Yeah. Oh, that's a good question, but I'm not sure we can. Do we go far enough back to answer it? But anyway, from Joe Overjoyed, which Chanel season, in your view, has the best quality caviar mini square? I'm in the market for a pre-loved. Okay, so I can only speak from what I own, right? I own the 17C, which is Cruise 2017. So it came out in December 2016. I own the Square Mini from that season, and I have to say that caviar, there was a bit of controversy when that caviar came out, because a lot of people were describing it as being plasticky, especially on purse form. There was a lot of people who got it and wasn't happy with it because it just felt plasticky to them. And I admit that even when I got mine, I can tell just based off of a comparison with my other things that I can tell that even the smell of the leather was more plasticky. It's so true. However, now that I've owned the bag for many years now, I can tell you that plasticky coating is there for a reason. It's super durable. This is my most used bag. I travel with it. I'm so carefree with it. Like, not so carefree that I throw it around, but like I can rest assured that, I wear it crossbody, whatever, however I want to wear it, put it in my luggage, bring it out, use it for traveling, use it for date night, all the time, basically, that it has lasted. And it looks brand new. So I would say that this one is a good one. I also own an 18B Raspberry Caviar, and I love that one too. It's a softer caviar, not quite as plasticky, but also really, really beautiful. Has a larger grain than the 17C. Aside from that, I don't own any other caviar in the minis, so I can't comment on the other seasons.
I have no idea. I'm like, what season? What year did I buy it from? I don't know. One of the years.
It's true, because I tend to remember those things because I'm so into it. But like after a while, you just start forgetting. Like I'm starting to forget. And sometimes people correct me. I'm like, oh no, it's from that season. I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. It doesn't matter at the end, but like I think sometimes people just want to try to find a pre-love version, or I don't know. People just like to correct people, I guess. Okay, also from Azar, not a question. Kat, you should start wearing your mini reissue before you decide to sell. You might find it handy and convenient to use.
Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely agree with this comment. I haven't sold it because I know that every time I take it out, like a few times I've taken it out from the box and to do a video and just to look at it, I know it's a very convenient bag, but I just haven't had the chance to really use it because of, well, we've been in and out of lockdown. We're coming into lockdown again because of some cluster that just exploded in Singapore. So again, I haven't had chance to really use my bag. So, but I agree with you. I need to use it first before I decide. Yeah, not for me. Don't sell. Yeah, I'm nervous. I don't sell it. I kind of know. I kind of know.
Yeah, similar to what I'm back happy is saying too. I think that's the advantage that what Kat has, the advantage of that bag is that it is a classic after all. So she doesn't have to sell it now. She doesn't have to make any decisions right now. And yeah, exactly. Try it out, wear it, keep it, sell it. Doesn't matter because at the end of the day, there's always going to be demand for a classic. And yeah, you could just wait for when you really need that emergency fund. If you really don't jive with the bag, of course, but you might love it. You might just end up only wanting to wear that bag. I don't know.
I said, I think I need another color.
Yeah. No duplicates. Okay, from MK, Kat, the LV bum bag is not your style. It's more of a men's bag. How come I haven't seen you wearing it? Your two FOMO Chanel bags. Yeah, that's true.
So same answer. Same answer. Pandemic, still in the box, chilling out, waiting for the day for it to be like, no more hand sanitizers, no more things like that, and just
I totally agree. I mean, this whole hand sanitizer thing is, I mean, we still need to do it, but like, it's just getting on my nerves. And it's just, you know, a lot of times, I don't know about where you live, Kat, but like here, I bring my own already. My own, at least it's very mildly scented and it's alcohol based. So it's kind of just like water. You're rubbing your hands with water in a way, it evaporates. But here also, when you walk into a store, they make you use their hand sanitizer, right? They don't care that you've already done it yourself. They make you use theirs. And a lot of times they're like kind of the sticky and like it leaves a film on your hands. I'm just like, I just don't want to touch my own bags after that, right? Okay, Lux Love Journey. Amy, mini flaps suit your frame. Looks big enough for me. Looks big enough for me. Tried it in store. It's so mini for me. Thinking of either the small or the medium classic flap. Any suggestions other than me trying it? Oh. Oh, okay. I see. Right. So I feel like the small is quite like so the small classic flap is quite small because as you probably saw in my reveal video when I put the mini and the small classic flap beside each other, they are, well, they're not quite the same size, but it just is not that big really. It really isn't that big. And especially in the capacity, yes, it has more height. You can fit a couple more small items in it, maybe a longer item than the mini, but that's pretty much it. I would say that the small classic flap is probably, if you want to not compare, but like if you want to just like try to style that on a person based on their stature, that the small is probably going to look small. If you have just like an average build and you're not extra petite, basically. So maybe medium is more universal of a size for most people. But there's no getting away with trying it though. That's the thing, because you might not like the drop. A lot of people complain about the drop of the medium when they double it up, especially that it's too close to their armpit, because I think the chain strap is similar length, but on a bigger bag, then it makes it shorter, right? That's the problem.
Yeah.
I don't know if Kat, you have.
I have a wild idea.
Yeah, go ahead.
A wild idea is for you to cut your own bag. Like there's so much information of like the measurements. Take a piece of paper or like a cardboard and snip it out, and then just put it against your body, like at home, and then you can see whether the size looks well for you. Do a little bit of DIY, craft work, because the small doesn't work for you, right? And if you don't want to try in store, find some resources on the size of the bag. A lot of YouTubers would tell you, this is the length, this is the height, this is the width, And if you can do a DIY little bag for yourself, you can sort of have an idea of the size. That's my little wild idea. Because if you don't want to go to the store and you can't find it in store, you don't want to mess it up, just do one that you can sort of see, because you just want to see if the size looks for you, right? So my wild little idea.
No, actually, it totally works. The way well, I don't cut anything. I thought you meant cutting a bag. I'm like, what?
Cut your own
No,
bag.
but I totally get it. The way I do it actually is if I'm interested in a bag that I don't own, so I would listen to the review, like when they share the dimensions, I would actually go and measure one of my own existing bags that's the closest size. So I know how much more or how much less the bag looks like on me. So that's how I go about it. Not quite as intense as your idea, but like that's what I would do.
So I'm
when I try to do.
You don't have any other bags, like, right? So I just say, like, what if you don't have something very similar? Then DIY. Cut out one of those cardboard boxes that you've been getting from all the home shopping that you've been getting, and just snip it up. Like, oh, okay, that's the size. Okay,
right, cool. Right. Oh yeah, that's
all home. If nothing else better to do anyway.
So true. Yeah, maybe try that. Yeah, but yeah, in general, I would say that small is quite small, and if you notice it, maybe another idea is to also just search reviews for the small, search reviews for the medium, and look at that person's build and how it looks like on them, because we all look different, right? I think a number of us own the small size classic flap. I think Jerusha has it. Lindy's have it. I have it now. And then, but then there's also a number of people who own the medium, and you can look at how it looks like on them. I know it's not the same, but that's the closest that you can get probably, right? MK, I decided to pull the trigger for getting the graffiti clutch because of Amy's unboxing. Yay! Why didn't I get the gold Croc? I know, me too. I'm like a little bit regretting, but anyway, it's the past. It's the past. It's fine. Guess I was too reasonable. I have deep regrets now. Oh my gosh. Me and you same. Me and you the same. I know. I mean, I have the card holder. I know, at least there's that. And I'm using the card holder now. But I do think about the bag a lot. I do think about it now. Every now and then I think about it. I'm like, oh, what if I still had it? Damn it, FOMO, damn it. I'm bag happy. Which FOMO purchase made you feel the most guilty right after, regardless if you loved it for a long time after that? Ah. The most guilty?
Okay, I have one.
You do? Which one?
I didn't say that my Birkin is a FOMO purchase, but at the store, I did feel a bit of FOMO, fear of missing out. So my Birkin, I felt extreme guilt buying it, extreme, because it's so expensive. Like, I could do a lot of good with that money, okay? And I know. So why did I say I have a bit of FOMO? Is because when I was in store and for weeks before, like, we were talking about like veining, and I talked about veinings as well. I was like, I don't think I can take it if the bag has veins. Like, what do I do if the bag has veins? And Amy's like, veins are beautiful. Imagine if they're symmetrical and all of that. But I've seen some Togo bags with serious veining, like really deep veinings. And it was kind of one of my fears. What if the bag that I got had a lot of veins? Lo and behold, the Birkin that I got has veins. They're not super deep, but they were like veins like that. And I was with my friend there, and I almost rejected the bag. I said I can't. They're veins. Like, what the fuck's that? They're veins. And girlfriend was like, no, you take the bag.
Are you crazy? Are you crazy?
Yeah. Are you crazy? She's like giving me the eye, like, it's gold. It's gold. It's black. You take the bag. And at that moment, I was like, okay. The fear of missing out, because what if I can't get the bag again? What will I get offered the black bag again? What if this is the only bag? All that was happening in a span of like 1 second. And I said, all right, ring it up. but I wasn't sure. I swear I wasn't sure. And right after that purchase, I had massive guilt. Shock,
Wow.
guilt. Yeah, like just like what have I done? What have I done? So soon, so this or that. And but of course, after that all settled, I'm much better today. But that moment, it was intense. Intense.
I remember you telling me that. I was like, you mean the vein that looks beautiful? I'm like, what? That's what made you doubt the bag? I was thinking, I love the veins. You know what would make me like if I had the same reaction as you, it is if my bag came with no veins. I feel like I love the veins. Like I every time, I don't know what it is, but maybe it depends on the bag, obviously, and the color. But whenever I see a picture of a Birkin that has no veins, I almost don't like it as much. I don't know what it is. It has to have a little bit, and yours is tasteful.
Yeah, I'm trying to look for the photo now. I mean, it's an angle. You don't see it actually, but when the light hits it in such a way, you'll see the veins. But most of the times, you don't see it. But yeah, I that was one that I felt massive guilt. What about you?
That's a great example. So I think mine is definitely not as intense. I think the one bag that I can think of that's more recent is the Trendy CC, because um, it's not a super FOMO purchase, but it was in a sense, because I think it was right after their big price increase, because I bought my Trendy CC in July last year, and they had this big price increase right in May. Luckily, the Trendy CC only went up a little bit, like by a couple $100, so it wasn't so crazy. But I was like, oh, I cannot stomach another price increase for a lambskin bag. It's all inside out lambskin, and it was sort of my first like true Chanel lambskin, like a lot of it on a bag. So I felt like when I bought it, I was even asking myself, I'm like, okay, are you sure? Are you sure you want to spend that kind of money? It was my most expensive bag at the time. Like, are you sure you want to spend that kind of money on a lambskin bag? Like, it's a lambskin bag, right? Like, it's gonna get scratched. It's gonna look patinaed and all that. So I did have a tiny little bit of a doubt at the end, like the tiny bit of that guilt, wondering if I've made the right decision. Because even though I was ready for it and I wanted it and all that, but the FOMO part came from just the price increase happened, and I don't want another one happening, because then it would go in the $6,000 whatever dollar mark, which I didn't want to go there. So yeah, that would probably be my example. Not quite as intense.
That was a good one though, because I think there was that doubt. The doubt makes the FOMO just intensify. It makes you question it.
Yeah.
And plus, again, the price, right? Because it's an expensive item. You just have to think more. So
Yes, exactly. Okay, I'm back happy. I think it's to her continuation. I think for me, FOMO is a little synonymous to you want it anyway, so get over with it. Most of my FOMO purchases are Chanel bags. WC are pre-loved. What's WC? Chanel bags. Anyway, are pre-loved, blinked, and you missed the deal. True. Yeah, with Chanel. I mean, with a lot of luxury items, but especially with Chanel's and to a certain extent, Hermes, if you don't take it, it's like someone else would take it. Someone else would take it. There's always going to be someone who's like, has no doubt about it. They just want it. Not a FOMO, trying to convince myself that the Birkin is a bag for me since I got the Peekaboo, which I compare a lot to the Kelly, similar style, top handle, strap, and almost same shape. Yeah. I know what you mean, because I have this wild thought yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before? I was thinking, because I'm having a little bit of a flare up lately. And so like my joints actually really hurt, and I wake up and I'm just like thinking about my joints, which is not a good feeling. And I was just because of that reason, right, I was like lining up at the store, and I was only carrying my never full because all I could think about is just throw things in and not have to care about anything. But I was thinking, oh, if I was carrying my Birkin right now, I'd be miserable. I was like thinking that. And but you know what? It is what it is. You just have to wear it on your good days.
Yeah, wear on your good days, same.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the Birkin's not for every day anyway, right? So I totally understand what you mean by, Kelly, similar to Peekaboo, do you still need the Birkin? It's not the same logic, but like I totally understand it. It's like, in a way, it's like, oh, do you really need a third one that is like similar? Okay, from Joyce, can you tell us more about your classic flop purchase experience with the new Chanel AMY program? Was that bag registered in their system? You know what, Joyce? I wish I could tell you, but maybe it's a combination of my essay being super busy when the 21A launched, and I haven't seen her in person since. I mean, I haven't even seen her in person since the last time I went to the store, which was a few months ago. What did I do when I went to see her? Anyway, it doesn't matter. So I tried to get information from her just via text, obviously. And I think she didn't answer me. Like I really tried to ask. I'm like, oh, so what's the difference between like the chip system? Is there a way that you can like educate me basically? Can you like send me a brochure? Or like I literally typed those words. I'm like, oh, is there a brochure or something that you can like tell me more about the chip and how it works and all that? And she just said, no, there isn't. That's it. So I'll have to follow up on this, Joyce. I'll have to, like, when I have time, drop into my Chanel store and actually ask about it. Like either I chat with the manager or I can like ask any of the essays there to see if they can share more information. From watching other people's videos, because I think Oksana shared that her essay shared with her that now it comes with a 5-year warranty. And because the bag has a chip in it, it knows, I mean, if you scan it, it should show the information of when it was produced, I would assume. But I don't actually have that information, so I cannot really just tell you stuff that I made up, right? I'll definitely have to follow up on that.
Interesting.
Do you know anything, Kat?
I don't know anything about this program. I was scrolling through the app this morning because the 21B collection came out, and I saw one bag which maybe we can talk about as well. I'll just show. Yeah, I saw this at more program, and I was like, what's that? But I have no idea. No idea. Girl's been Hermes for a while. Like,
yeah, well, that too, but also I literally think that for me, my essay was too busy to answer me at the time because 21A was such an intense collection. She was so busy. Her responses could not be shorter. Every time I texted her something, I try not to text her as much because I don't want to confuse her. All I knew is I was able to buy the bag. I'm like, okay, let's just do it. That's it. I'm like, send me the bill. Like, that's all I cared about. But at the end, I still tried to get information from her, which I didn't get. But I will try to follow up. And I mean, I'd like to know myself too. And then we'll have to share that. We'll have to come back and share that information.
Thank you for the super sticker.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm just not there in the comments yet, so I can't see your face. But thank you so much.
Okay. So I can click on it. The name is Kimberly. Thank you, Kimberly.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. The gold Croc Chanel from Mitida is the one that got away from me. I bought the small black Croc Gabby, and I wasn't ready to buy 2 bags at the same time. That's what happened to me. I actually bought 3 bags in that season. I got the Coco handle with the exotic stamp handle, like not the true exotic. Actually, no. I bought 2 bags. I bought the gold mini and I bought the reissue. And I should not have returned the gold mini to exchange for the Coco handle. I should have just stuck with my first instinct, which is to keep those 2. But anyway, it's too late. Too late. Regret buying is better than not buying. I think that's what we said last time. It's better to have FOMO than to have purchase. What was the word?
Have a bad purchase.
Yeah.
a regret purchase, I think. Something like
Yes,
that.
absolutely agree.
While you look for the next question, I'm gonna share this. So I saw this on today's app. This is the new bag. Wait, I want to hear what the Luxies think of this new bag. This is like a little briefcase duffel. It's got a top handle. It's got a bit of, I don't know, look to it. I kind of like it.
Ooh, is Chanel gonna make you buy something this season?
This is the problem when I don't have a wish list, right? You're like, ooh.
Yeah.
But no. I mean, anyway.
How much is it? Does it have a price?
It's 6,000, just under 6,000.
And how big is it?
17 centimeters height. 25. It's quite a big bag,
Oh,
actually.
25 is good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a small bag, but it's kind of definitely seasonal. Definitely like one of those. But it's nice. I kind of like the look.
It's a very attractive seasonal bag.
Different.
I have yet to look at the collection. I mean, normally I would already be all over it, but like I said earlier, I was having a bit of health things and I just wasn't in the mood for anything. I haven't even filmed a video that I was supposed to film earlier, but anyway, I'll have to look at it too and share my thoughts on the collection. Okay, so from Mika, a hypothetical question, Amy, if you got the Birkin before getting the Chanel Classic, would you have bought the gray Classic flap or thought maybe not now because you just splurged on the Birkin?
That's a good question.
You know, I honestly think, and I think I shared that with Kat privately as well, that if the Birkin was here, I would have done the responsible thing. The responsible Amy would have said, no, don't dip into your savings here.
Yeah. He's like, get away from me.
I honestly think that I wouldn't have. And in a way, because I can say that now, I'm actually glad that it's the other way around because I'm like, the classic flap, man, it's nothing new. Obviously, like everyone knows the classic flap, but it's just there's something about it. It's extra special. It is. Yeah, it's kind of like it doesn't fit that much. There's the second flap. It's kind of annoying sometimes, but the general look, the feel, and everything is just something else. So it's good to have one. It's good to have one. I wouldn't say that I would start adding a bunch of them in different colors. I don't think I would. That's my responsible Amy talking. So, but I'm glad that it happened in this order, actually. Okay, I'm eyeing the LV bum bag in either monogram or black empreinte, but I'm worried that it's too much of a trend to spend the money. Thinking of getting the style in another brand to try the style. Oh, yeah. Yeah, have you considered other bum bags when you were when you bought the monogram version?
No, for me, no, I didn't. I just went straight for it. Which makes me wonder if this is actually a good like tactic, like a good way to go first. Try another brand. I don't know. Maybe when it comes to very trendy styles, especially like a bum bag, it is actually more, I would think right now, I mean, in hindsight, it would have been more prudent of me to get something really, really inexpensive, something maybe like from H&M.
Oh, I'll show you the one that I have. I love it. I'm sure you've seen it. I probably shared with you when
like
I
Nike?
go, like when I go
Nike?
exercise, that's what I wear.
Ah, yeah. We'll get something that is really inexpensive, no brand, and try out the style and try if you like, yeah, like that.
This is what I wear when I go exercise, and I wear crossbody. It's huge. It's like the same size as the LV one, but it's just nylon. It's Nike. It's a bright color. It matches my. Sorry, I'm gonna take the comment out so that you can see it. I have to go back. So like it just, it just matches my jacket is actually the same color, so I look like coordinated when I go exercise. My exercise is just walking. Okay, it's not that deep. But yeah, it's like just one big compartment in the front, and it has like a zippered kind of mesh compartment. I actually also love the back compartment is like where I put my phone, like flat things. It's like $30.
I think yours is more user friendly. So I'm going to
Mm.
share with Jordan one of the other things that I thought I could get away with the bum bag is actually the flap that covers over the zip. So I think if you look at your bum bag, your
Yeah,
zip,
it's a zipper.
the zipper, it
Yeah, it's
opens
just
really
exposed
easily.
zipper.
Yeah, but the monogram doesn't cover the zipper. Now, I had my Palm Springs mini backpack, and a lot of people had the same issue where the zip and the flap was sort of like covering. But for me, when I had my mini Palm Spring, I never had an issue with it. So when I saw this bum bag, I noticed a similar thing about that little bit here. And I thought, oh, no, I won't have an issue with it. I honestly had a little bit of issue with it. It's a little bit inconvenient. You got to kind of like flip open the flap because it's much bigger. It covers the zip entirely, much bigger. Flip it open, unzip it, close it. It's a little bit of a hassle. So that definitely contributed to a little bit of my like, it's not as convenient as it is. But of course, the size being like a huge croissant in front of my chest didn't help as well. So all these little factors did end up making me not want to use it as much.
Right.
So if you want to get something that's from a different brand, you would probably need to get something very similar, like have the same kind of look that they say, oh, okay, it's really good. So with your bag, the size will be good, but that one extra factor you need to consider as well. So just added that.
Yeah, and also, but it's so true that flap bit. It's one of LV's kind of. I mean, it's nice because it covers the zipper, but it's one of those things where it can be problematic when you start using it, and especially if you start getting wear and tear, because a lot of people get cracks when you flip it too much, or if the zipper kind of always. Basically, the zipper is always scratching that flap bit, right? So yeah, that's a good point. It's so true. I remember when I was trying the bag too, I was thinking, oh, I didn't really like that flap bit, but try something like this if you just want the look and see if you even like putting stuff in it, because this I'm okay. It's like $30, right? But this stuff swims inside because it's a rounded shape, right? And also if you wear it crossbody, then of course everything will just pull down. So it's not really going to stay in the same spot as where things are, and see if you like even like the feeling of that. But good one. Okay, Lux Love Journey. Tribal earrings was almost a FOMO for me. Glad it didn't happen. I realized fine jewelry is more worth to spend than this. Absolutely agree, yes. I do also have the tribal earrings, now that you remind me. I do have the tribal earrings and the Jajiao, two pairs of Jajiao earrings. One pair I just let go recently. But it's so true. If I have to keep just one pair of Dior earrings, it would be the tribals, because those are, yes, they are thick posts, but at least they look classic, so it's more justifiable. But totally agree that fine jewelry, especially this year, now that I'm into fine jewelry, I have to concur that it's just so much. It gives you so much more joy and pleasure to know that cost per wear it's like it diminishes because you're always wearing them, but also the fact that they don't tarnish, nothing like that. They just are worth the money. I love it.
And you don't have to be so careful with them. Like you've got alcohol on gold, whatever, man.
So true. I think mine is getting quite worn out. Like it's quite patina that I can probably start doing my actual review. because I was waiting to really wear it out.
Mm.
Wear it out. It's actually quite worn out now, I think, compared to when it was brand new.
This is a good question, Helen.
Helen, ladies, what do you think of the 21B dark gray color? Shows up so differently on different photos. Yes. Okay, I do know about this dark gray.
I
It's
don't know
very
about it.
nice. You know what it reminded me when I first saw it? But it's so true that depending on the lighting, I think if it was like really indoor lighting, there was not quite a lot of ambient reflection, that it looks quite dark. But in I guess in other lightings, it can look a lot softer, but still quite dark. And it reminded me of the Hermès Étain. I don't know if it reminds you of that color, but I saved a few different screenshots of it just from different people wearing it, and I really think that it's a really pretty gray. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, so I have right here. So let's see. So this is from Stella. So this is Stella's picture, her stories. So
Oh,
almost looks black, right? So I don't know
yeah.
where she got this picture, but this almost looks like black, like very dark. But then this one is from another person, Fashion Addict. And it looks a lot softer,
Ooh.
right? Okay, it's not focusing.
Okay, got it. Ooh, this looks nice.
Yeah, so it really reminds me of like a slightly darker étain. It has sort of this there's no real undertone in my opinion, like it's not really green or anything like that. It's just a nice neutral darker gray. It's really pretty. But would I have gotten it? I would have to see in person, because these pictures really throw me off. Like they literally could look so black, or they could look like a gentle darker gray, which really throws me off. Okay, your question. Sorry, I have to answer. What do I think? Oh, okay. I like it. But I'll be honest, compared to 21A, I like 21A more.
Yeah. I didn't really like it, to be honest. But it could be the photos. It could be the photos. So I hold it, but my first instinct is like not so nice.
No, it's nice. It's just so dark, because
But
the
the
previous
photos
one
will
where
make
they
a
had
difference.
a gray, it's the medium gray, is 20C. So
Mm,
20C, and then now 21A, and then now 21B, they all have grays. But 20C is the in between the two, which I would prefer 20C rather than 21B. But obviously 20C is like almost a year ago now, right? It's like 7 months ago. So you can't get it anymore unless you buy it from the resale. So it's still a good contender, but best to see it in person. This one is one of those that you really have to see in person to see how, if you really like that darkness, because it's quite dark.
yeah.
From Jamel, I bought the Fossil belt bag to try out before splurging on the Chanel one. Love the Fossil so much, I don't even want the Chanel anymore. Ah, yes! Sometimes that can happen, and it actually works out in your favor, right? I love that. Shanna, Kat, you mean alcohol on Cartier jewelry is fine? I think so.
It's gold, right? I mean, I don't know. I haven't had any issues, but I don't go dip
Exactly.
my jewelry in alcohol. Like if I were to get like, my hand sanitizer on a bit of it, I wouldn't be like freaked out, tarnished. But if I got it on like say, because now what I'm wearing now, I have been wearing my Ana Luisa. I love this. Like it's making me want to get fine
It's
jewelry.
cute. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so nice. This like a Cuban chain, right? But this is from Ana Luisa, and I've got my Cartier. So when I got like using hand sanitizer, I get it on my Cartier. I'm like no, but I get it on my Ana Luisa. I freak out because this is not real gold, right? This is gold plated, and you're not supposed to get alcohol or any kind of this corrosive liquid on costume jewelry. So I'll be like, white with water. But with the fine jewelry, I mean, I don't know. Seems okay.
No, I think it's totally okay. And if you think about it, when you sanitize your earrings the first time, even if they're costume, you still have to wipe some alcohol on it.
Yeah.
So it's not like like Kat saying, you're not drenching your jewelry in alcohol 24/7. It's only temporary. Hand sanitizers are temporary. Like literally you dry out your hands and it's gone, right? So I don't think it would be like, especially on solid gold, I really don't think it'll be an issue at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, totally. I think that's what fine jewelry is so good for, and I totally respect that. Totally love it. Okay, I think same question from Nikki. What do you think about the 21B and the 21A? Yes, definitely love the 21A more. 21A is definitely a lot lighter, so I wonder if it's not for everyone. Because, you know, you have the spectrum of, yeah, 21A is so pretty. It's like dove gray, perfect dove gray. Yes, yes, yes. But then is it for everyone? Probably not, because not everyone is comfort level is with a lighter color bag, especially if you tend to be clumsy, number one, and you tend to wear a lot of darker color transferring clothing. Talking about denim, wool coats, and all those things. I got asked this question too, whether I'm afraid of it. I am actually not, but that is also because I am aware that it's a light color bag. I'm not going to wear it with everything, right? I have to wear it with the lighter color coats and the summer clothing. All those things are fine. So yeah, I see another sticker. I'm not sure from whom, but thank you so much again. I just saw it from the
Chris.
referral.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you so much. So yeah, I would say I still prefer light gray from 21A. The 21B is nice. And especially if you've missed out on the past grays and you absolutely want a gray, this gray is so dark that color transfer will be harder to get on for sure. So it's a good thing. But am I in love with that color? I honestly can tell you no. So that's the difference. It's not necessarily bad.
Yeah,
It's
just very deep. It's very deep and like night. It gives me like, you know, night. Like it's perfect for autumn, winter. So if you like that kind of color tone, then it will be a good choice. But it's kind of dark. So again, I think for this bag, you need to see it in store, or at least wait for more pictures to come out, because every single picture so far, some I'm like, wow, nice. Some is like, oh no. Whereas this light gray one, every picture looks good.
I can't even show it. Yeah, exactly. This light gray is like, I mean, I think there's a reason why it's this darker gray came out in fall winter, because it's like a Kat said, it's a very fall winter appropriate color, whereas this light gray came out in métier d'art. I'm trying to, oh, here, I found the picture I want to show you. So I'm trying to show you the difference between 21A and this is 20C, which is the one that I said is like in between the current collection. And oh my gosh, can you please? Okay,
Oh,
there.
nice.
So 20C is a medium gray. 21A is a really lighter version of the dove gray, like the perfect gray in my opinion. And
I
then my
actually like
Coco handle is
21C.
just like almost white. It's so light gray. But yeah, so now you're talking about if we add the third one here, the 21B, it would be the darker of the three. It's still really pretty. So I mean, I still think that it's a great color. It's just, do you love it? You have to love it, right? For me, between the three, I love these two more. I love this one most, and then I love this the second, and then, so you know. Just jump, sorry. Coming back. Okay, I see a question. Oh, yes. I was wondering if this would come up in the conversation. Ladies, what do you think about Tamara's experience? Yes, terrible.
I'm about to after this I'll film a Q&A, so I posted a Q&A on my Instagram, because I do a Q&A every month, just a chat, people ask me some other questions. So I had a question on this as well, so I was going to answer it, but I could use the same answer. Scary. Unfortunate. What do you think about it? I don't know. What do you think about it?
It was intense because I found out the news that morning, and then you guys were still all asleep, right? But I was texting you guys. I'm like, oh my gosh, this happened. And well, at first I didn't really know what happened. I just saw her first story post, and then she said something about the news, so I tried to look up the internet. What news is she talking about? So I found this French news article that explained the situation, what just happened, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is like worst nightmare anybody can ever like experience. Of course, nothing happened to her, she's fine, which is great. Like at the end of the day, yes, these are all material things. However, I know this is what we tell ourselves, right? But it's still terrible. Like no one likes to be invaded of their privacy and security. First of all, like I don't want everybody like just like going through all my stuff and then just like literally like saw my bed and then just try to like grab, like try to find anything they can steal, right? Like I don't want that invasion of privacy, number one. And number two is, yeah, all those things that she worked for, she totally don't have them anymore, right? Like all the luxury things that they can grab that they can probably easily resell or try to pawn it or whatever. It's terrible. Like it's such a yeah, you can only react as positively and as optimistically as you can, which she is doing, which I really love about her and super proud of her. So all I can, like I can only just like feel the anger for her, but also just like super proud of her, how she handled it and how she's going forward with it as well. So, I mean, what can you do, right? Already happened.
She handled it really well. I watched her video where she shared the whole thing after it happened. I think when she settled down with everything that's happening, and she just took a step back, and instead of reacting and be all dramatic about it, she was very, very professional and just moving on. That she loves her things, and I think all of us love our things. But what do? Do you hide back and just be angry at everything, or do you move forward and just think, okay, what do I need to do next? What's the next step? So I think her sharing was very important for a lot of people who may be in the luxury community. Like, what if this was me? And she handled it in such a professional, very clever, very smart, very intelligent way. And I thought, well done, girl, well done. Because invasion of privacy it's a scary thing. I've had my home broken into, my family home, and I remember walking into the house and opening the door, going like, and calling my mom like, "Mommy, something doesn't feel right." And I was a kid, and I walked to the kitchen, and from the corner of my eye, I could see the kitchen door open. I was like, "Oh shit! I think somebody's in our house." was in our house, and being a child, the fear level just went all the way up here, and I don't know what to do. Yeah, we were robbed, but very small robbery, but still, it's scary. Even now I'm talking about it, I'm like, oh my god, I can remember walking into the kitchen like, crap.
Yeah, exactly. I think I shared this to myself in a live before that. With my first property, I also got broken in, and it's just one of those things where, yeah, we didn't lose much, but especially because I literally just moved in, and I was pretty poor. I just bought the property, so I didn't own a lot of things, but they did invade the privacy. Like I didn't know if I felt safe anymore in my new home. And of course, they took whatever they could take, right? They took electronics, they took like laptops, they took all the fine jewelry I had at the time, which were all passed down to me, like from my mom, my aunts. So, like, I mean, it was not much at the time, right? Compared to, compared to Tamara, but it just is the feeling where you're like, oh my gosh, like someone invaded me, like invaded my security, my home, my everything. So it just is never a good feeling.
Yeah.
And exactly, she really shows true leadership about how she handled it, regardless of how she feels privately, because I'm sure no one in their right mind would not feel this intense mix of emotions and like maybe like very like cried out, whatever. Like at the end of the day, I feel like what she portrays on the outside is yeah, very smart, very just like true leadership. And she knows that she can make it all back, right? That's the important thing, is that you can get back there again. Like you can gain it all back again because she is capable of.
Yeah.
And it's the right mindset to have, definitely. But it also makes me wonder, like after all this happened, like how much you share online, and also the privacy, the reason why we don't share everything. I mean, we share a lot, but the reason why we don't share everything is, you know, has some to do with protecting our privacy, right? It's important.
It's very important. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
I think
I would only appreciate it if someone would just do the same for me, like, you know what I mean? So anyway, yeah. Good
I
question.
think for her, she, one of the things that I think, because maybe we love luxury, like we all of us here, the luxies, we love luxuries, and we imagine like, if it happened to us, how much it would hurt. And I mean, come on, whatever it is, no matter what, it will hurt. Okay, we're losing things, and even though people say it's just things, I think what was upsetting for me, one of the things is reading some comments on some places like, it's just bags, it's just things, dismissing dismissing the situation. I think that's wrong. I think we watching that unfold, reading the comments, watching her videos and all that, I think what was lacking in that, and her being so amazing to rise above it, is that people need to have a bit more compassion, because they are things, yes, we know, but it's a loss. It's a loss of hard work being invaded and all that. But it shocked me to read some stuff where people are just saying things like, my gosh, she deserved it. She's a target. This. She showed too much. She should have this. She should have that. Oh, it's just bags. She should cry about bags. It shocks me on the reaction of some people with absolutely lack compassion and empathy. It mind blowing. And to actually type it out is just, God, you people need to get re-educated. Yeah, that's shocking.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, by the way. And it's not just about lacking filter at this point. It's like, how evil are you to say those things? Honestly, are you even human? Do you have any humanity in you? Like, I question that.
Yeah, that was something that I was like, wow, what if it was us? Like and then somebody said, I lost this, and you get comments like, of course you deserve it. Like, who
No one.
Girl,
no one should deserve anything.
You're Mars. That. You're from Mars or something.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Anyway, I just feel like this is, there's this saying in Chinese where something really bad happens to you, but usually it's more like bloody. But anyway, usually something bad happens to you, then like that thing happened already, so everything going forward is positive. So that's the only thing that I can wish for her, and well, for anybody who is going through hardships, know that it probably cannot go lower than that.
Yeah.
So it can only go up, like forward. And of course, you also have to have the right attitude. Obviously, it's not just going to work on its own, right? You have to have the right attitude, and also believe in yourself that you can just, work hard and gain it all back, or somehow just have faith that things will be fine, So yeah, thank you for the question. Okay, from Tan Wen Lee, what do you think about 21 Oh, 21B classic flap rose gold hardware. I think I might have FOMO over this. I have seen I think I saw a posting, someone's story where they were showing the hardware and it was kind of like gleaming a little bit of a rose gold, but the hardware itself is it rose gold though, or is it black with rose gold? I can't remember now. Did I save a screenshot of that? I might not have.
I think it's rose gold.
It's
just
rose gold, right? Okay.
I watched whose video? I think it was Isabel's video.
Oh, I haven't watched it yet. No. Okay,
which
so
is kind of a
I
little bit
don't
of a
FOMO about that myself. I don't know why. For me, hardware, whenever they have like rainbow hardware or like, all black hardware. What did they call now the all black ones?
So black.
Oh yeah, so black. Like whenever they have the special hardware, I don't necessarily feel like it's extra special. I mean, they are extra special, but to me, it doesn't strike any sort of chord, I think. So I am okay with it. I feel like if you love it, that's just one of those things, right? You just have to get it if you love it, and they're probably not going to do it again.
Yeah.
Or if anything anytime soon. So I get the FOMO.
We understand. There's no explanation required. If you love it, you love it.
Exactly. So let us know if you're gonna end up buying it. I'm so curious. Okay, from Kimberly. I missed the 18B iridescent gray. Such FOMO, my essay invited me to the store to see it too. Oh. 18B. Right, you're right. They had a gray in 18B. It's true.
No idea.
I just know they did because I bought the raspberry red at the time. I didn't even look at any other colors. So I just know there was, but I didn't look at it. Yeah. Chanel does that a lot.
We are at the 2-hour mark.
Oh, yeah. So I better hurry. I think we are almost at the end of the chat anyway. So let me just... Someone loves your shirt.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
I love your shirt too. That's why I decided to change into my shirt.
In a few colors. I saw pink. I saw red. I saw green, and surprisingly green kind of looks good with me. The red looks nice, but I don't know. Maybe red was just a bit much. I thought green looked a little bit more subtle.
Yes. Thank you, Chris. Just saw your comment. Thank you so much. Okay. Aside from Chanel, what are the items that you both have purchased because of FOMO?
Well, LV does. Actually, I think the LV multi pochette is also a FOMO purchase.
Oh yeah.
It is. It started off with a bit of influence, and then it started to get more and more and more, and then I was like, okay, we got to get this bag. And then you chase it down.
Yes. I have to say, I feel like I said earlier, I feel like everything has a bit of FOMO. It's just varying degrees. But definitely Chanel is always like the highest. Like if you had a temperature thing, it's like at the top.
Spikes like this.
Okay, should I get the mini Lady Dior that's beaded, embellished, but it's 5,100 USD, or the rectangular flap? Oh my gosh, hard. Do you own any rectangular mini flap yet? And if the answer is no, I would get the rectangular mini flap first.
Why?
That's my answer. I know we are, or at least I am. I know that we are a bit biased here, but you guys already know. If you watch us and you follow both our channels, you know that Kat loves her LV, her Hermes, and her Chanel, and I love my Chanel and now Hermes. We're deep into these brands, okay? We just love them. So for me, yes, I am biased towards Chanel, but there is a good reason for it, because if you just look at the styles, these two styles, right? The Lady Dior beaded embellished limited edition versus rectangular mini, you'll get so much more wear out of the rectangular mini, right? You could wear it with any outfit. It will match, no, regardless. And a mini is always a good idea. A mini from Chanel, that's what I mean. Lady Dior, beautiful. I own it too. But to me, it's a very evening bag. It's a very sort of occasional bag. I don't wear it all the time. And I don't feel like it goes with every outfit. So me, I get less cost per wear for it. Do I love it? Yes, of course. But if you don't have the mini already, then I would still go with the mini first.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Lady Dior, plus yours is you're looking at the one that's beaded and embellished. So unless you are just buying it purely for occasion, then of course, then go for it. But if I see the two comparisons, like mini, lady, beaded, and then you're just going for a mini, like a rectangular flap, it just gives me, it just makes me think that you want a more regularly used bag. And because they're so different, right? So unless you're saying you want an embellished mini rectangular, like they kind of like, two of the very similar bags, just different brands. But this seems to be like one's more practical, something that you might get to use more, and then one that's just gorgeous. So it's hard, but I agree with what you said. The mini lady on its own, not embellished, already is a very, very occasion bag, evening bag. And not the most easy to use, right, Amy? I think it's more restrictive. You need to like do a little bit of Tetris with the items as compared to a mini rectangular, which is just put everything inside and kind of go easily.
So to us, it feels like it's a no-brainer answer. Maybe to you because you're in your FOMO zone. And we get it. But yeah, objectively, I would say the mini first.
Objectively biased, you mean?
Objectively biased, yes, of course. But you also know that about us, right? You know that about us. Okay, do you girls feel that the Cartier Love bracelet is worth the money? I tried both the Love Small in yellow gold, but the price. Yes, also
Worth every
objectively
penny.
biased here.
Objectively biased as well.
For a long time, and I'm sure if you follow my channel, for a long time, I didn't own any luxury fine jewelry. And this year I bought a lot. Like I just literally started and I just started buying, right? And to me, this is definitely the best of all the fine jewelry pieces that I've bought because this is worn 24/7. So it's absolutely worth the money, 100%, 110%. And you just have to love the piece because I've tried the Love bracelet, the regular size, several times in the past. I didn't love it. And it's fine if you don't. And if you don't get it at the time, it's not the right time to get it. I'm just glad that I finally got the Love Small. And I feel like this is the answer to all the, like the look that I want, the size that I want, everything. So, and even the fact that it's easily removed, even though I haven't removed it at all. Like after the first month, I stopped removing it. I just start wearing it the whole time. So absolutely 100% yes.
Yeah. Yes. Coming
but
from
only
a
if you feel the
person that
same way about
coming from me who I could not stomach the price, and I actually went a pre-love route. And now today I love it so much. I am actually considering, you know what? Let's do it. Let's get one more. I don't care if I'm going to pay full price. It's worth it because I actually took out the bracelet when I went for, I think when I do my visa to go visit the States. You need to get a visa. You need to go through all these scanners into the embassy. So they ask you to take out all your jewelry, right? Metal detectors. And I actually felt like I need to put my bracelet back on. I just felt a bit like something's missing. So you're so used to it and you just don't realize that it's on your arm. And then when it's off, you're like, oh, it's empty. My wrist is empty. So yeah, worth do it.
Yes. But only if you fall in love with it when you try it. Because I didn't fall in love with it at first. but after I tried this, I totally did. Okay, I am seeing mostly just like chatting, but I think I'm gonna finish off with MK's comments because I think those are the last bit. Tamara's video was emotionally very intense. I relate to her very much as I was in the exact same state of mind after I got robbed last year. So in shock, I couldn't even cry or scream. And then when I got robbed, 90% of the people were happy about it and all came to me to ask some juicy details, my supposed depressed state of mind, and laugh. That's terrible. And then, oh, okay, then you moved on. Okay, the two elements go today. Kat, do you think H prints look like? What's batik?
Batik is a very traditional, it's a traditional Malay pattern that is very flowery and very repeated. It's very beautiful. So batik, let me see. Oh, I have something. So if you're gonna look.
Okay. So let me see if you guys are writing more questions as we're about to finish. But that's
let me show you. This is batik. This is my batik cheongsam. So this is a very simple batik, but batik can be very elaborate. So yeah, it does have that similar, like, repetitive patterns. This is batik. It's made of wax.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something about the patterns of t-shirts that Hermes makes, if it's not a plain one, that really draws your eyes, right? It's just the chaotic, almost like repeated but chaotic patterns. that just like, you're like, oh, it's actually really nice and stunning when you put it on. On the rack, it never looks like anything special, but once you have it on, it's really, really nice.
Agreed. Okay, are we?
Okay, I'll do a quick. Hermes has new design bags. Anyone, any idea? I think, Kat, you showed me like a little pouch that you add on to the Birkin. And I think I saw some design, like some new actual bags where it looks like a Birkin, but it's like so simple. Like it has like two, or is it just the added pouch that you show me and they just put it on a Birkin to show the bag? I don't know. It just looks odd to me.
Yeah, so I saw the add-on pouch thing. I don't know what it's called. So this is the one that I saw, this thing.
Yeah.
It's, the idea is good. I just don't know about the actual execution of it on a bag that's already opened. So I did say to my essay, I said, kind of strange. I get the idea. I get the how you have now an extra pocket outside to put your phone, but already I don't close my bag so what's the point? So maybe he was sort of saying to me that if you are a person that travels a lot and you close your bag, then actually having an outer pouch is very good. And so yeah, I can kind of appreciate that. Yeah. What else did I see? I also saw new totes, like a tote bag. Saw a few new bags, which, they're right.
They're okay. I don't know. I have my favorites when it comes to the few designs that I would like to get myself. Okay, really quickly, and we'll be done because we are past our 2-hour mark. How do you respond to people's comments that are that you're spending too much during the pandemic? I don't.
Yeah.
Because why is it their business? Right? I'm like,
I honestly, I don't get a lot of these kind of like really, you're spending so much kind of comments.
Well, I think people that are close to you, like my own family and friends, they don't really, I mean, they don't care. They know that it's my money, right? So like whatever. But it's mostly, I feel like if these kind of comments come about, it's more like people that either don't know you very well or they're just like seeing you from a public eye and they're like commenting because they saw that one unboxing video of yours or something like that, probably. So
don't,
if you don't
I guess
know me,
don't respond. Like,
yeah. Like, I don't care enough about you to respond and to waste my time on on answering you, basically. Call me cold, but whatever. That's how I look at it. Okay, Eileen, it appears that most of you don't wear your Chanel Jumbos that often. Been thinking out a lot. Been thinking out a lot, though a jumbo is a good size for daily use, especially for work.
I think it is. I used to use my jumbo for work. I carry everything inside, and I think it's good. It's heavier. I don't use it as much because, well, I've been home for the past 2 years, and yeah, I don't carry as much. But it is
Agree
actually a
about the
better
home
size.
part, and also even if I've had my jumbo for this whole time, it's never actually a bag that I used a lot. It's never been, actually. It's always been some other bag, not the jumbo. So I think having that experience with my bag already tells me, and also the fact that I know I prefer smaller bags already like it really just adds to the argument that I am more of a small bag person. So yes, I do own it, but like it's never really been a bag that I like used a lot anyway. So that's probably why. But if it's yours and you do like it, you wear a lot, then that's fine. Like I don't see any, like we're not all made the same build, right? And we don't all have the same needs. So last question from May. Thoughts on the Chaumet Be My Love ring or bracelet?
Don't
The
know.
B one. I know which one it is. I think I know, but I'm just gonna look it up just to be sure. I like their one of their bracelet is like this. Is it? It's not the B one, but it's like a simple.
Ooh, like it. It gives me Chanel, Coco Chanel vibes. Okay, I'm gonna just bring up the picture. Okay, here you go. It's like
yeah.
it's like a
Okay, that's
beehive.
exactly the one that I was thinking about then. Yeah.
Oh, we like.
You know, the reason why I even knew about it, even though I forgot the name, is because you guys brought it up on when I think when I talked about, it's either this bracelet or I can't remember what it was. One of you brought it up that I will like this bracelet. Yeah, it's nice.
Ooh. Very nice. Very understated. Me like.
You know, the one of the I saw again influenced. I saw Sierra from Melbourne. She unboxed and she's wearing her what's the brand again? The one with the leopard or the what's the brand?
The leopard? There's a leopard? Van Cleef and Arpels.
No.
There's a leopard.
No,
Is
no,
there a
serpent, not leopard. Sorry.
Oh, Bulgari.
A Bulgari. Yeah, she's the Bulgari. Okay, I don't know the name of the bracelet, but the one that she's wearing, if I can find it.
Serpentine.
I love it. Like I saw her unbox it, and she also did a quick review in Thai on her channel.
Serpentine.
Yeah. Then it's like a newer bracelet. I'm gonna try to find her post and then just share it like we're talking about her. Oh, there. Okay. So I don't know if you can see.
Yes.
I love this bracelet. Hers has, well, I think it only comes with a little bit of diamonds on like the two heads. It's so gorgeous. I literally, like, ever since I saw her post, I think it was her story at first and then her YouTube, I looked it up. I was like, I think this might be something I might add to my wish list. After the Birkin, okay? Have to be responsible. After the Birkin. Like, I actually really love that bracelet. So
I'm adding this Chaumet. How do you pronounce it?
Chaumet.
Chaumet. I'm adding this to check out.
Yeah, let me know how it goes. But anyway, I also have to shout out before we leave. Thank you, Azar, for your super sticker. Thank you all so much for spending your precious time with us. Thank you so much. And of course, next week we'll have a different topic. I hope that you enjoyed today's FOMO purchases. It's always fun when we understand each other, right? But anyway, if you're just joining, you can catch the rewatch, like the rerun after we are done with the live. And don't forget to subscribe to both our channels. Next week we'll be on Kat's channel, so definitely join us next week, and we'll talk to you guys again very soon. Bye.
Bye. Don't forget to like.
Yes.